Hello, friends. Today we are in magical Tuscany, and the magic lies not only in the fact that we are in one of the most beautiful regions of Italy, but also in what we will do together, a review of the amazing interior world of the company Antoniolupi, whose headquarters is located here. So why is Antoniolupi a whole interior world? Because since 2023, they have been releasing a complete collection not only for bathrooms but also for living interiors. And now we have entered right into such a situation. Here we see a luxurious composition for the living room, consisting of a sofa and armchairs from the Neverland collection designed by Carlo Colombo. And also a very expressive blueberry-colored Tiarima sofa. The creators of this model, GAM Design, were inspired by the geometry of a right triangle. Well, we can see a very graphic piece. By the way, the color scheme is really quite trendy at the moment, and it looks fantastic when paired with powdery cushions. This composition is united by two woolen rugs. This is also a new item for 2024, presented in Milan. Very interesting volumetric weaving, and there is also a new item placed on the rugs. The tables come in different heights and diameters, as well as an oval version. They are called orbit. Well, actually, we see the orbits of some celestial bodies. As a storage system in this composition, anime collectibles are offered. This is a very interesting model that can be either floor-mounted or suspended, as in this case. The facades can be finished either simply with various lacquers, or have a certain relief, as seen here, or you can also prefer a natural wood finish. As for the tabletop, it is recessed, and this is the main feature of this model. It can be done with or without backlighting. Antoniolupi also pays attention to smaller items. We see a charming collage mirror, which features a multi-level surface with graphics, and, of course, a mirror. So, it's truly an art object with a specific function. And the extra coat rack, also presented in Milan, is an architectural study by Florentine specialist Marco Casamonti from the renowned Archia Sacchiati studio. And of course, this living area smoothly flows into the bathroom, where we see two sinks. Designed by Paolo Juliana, they are called controverso, which means controversy. The controversy here lies in the fact that both high technology and handcraft are used in the creation of these sinks. First, a block of marble is taken, machine cuts are made in specific places and at a certain rhythm, and then this amazing texture is refined by a human hand with a hammer. Freestanding sinks are undoubtedly very expressive items, but the question often arises, how do you place something next to them? Here, Antoniolupi has also thought ahead and this year offered high Roma tables in addition to the low ones we were already familiar with. And all of this looks really great against the backdrop of a huge 2-meter round mirror. A circus with backlighting. As for Paolo Julian, he is very passionate about the poetry of natural stone and has created a large number of models for Antoniolupi. This is not only about controversies, but also, for example, vortices, that is, a whirlpool, which in this case is under the version of deconstruction so that you can appreciate the full depth of the idea. The standalone anime liquider wash basin is undoubtedly one of the most striking pieces in the Antoniolupi collection. The idea for creating this item was inspired by the baptistries found in churches. The item is very expressive due to the integrated mixer built directly into the basin. Consequently, you turn the handle and get a waterfall flow. This basin is installed opposite the eponymous storage system, but a shallower version is offered for the bathroom. Nevertheless, all issues related to hiding necessary items in the bathroom are resolved very easily. The standalone Orion bath is a new addition this year. Despite its rather modest diameter, it is comfortable enough even for fairly large individuals. The street standalone wash basins are also made from the same Grigio Carnico marble, and here they are complemented by the new 2024 Random collection of mixers. Random indeed means random, or it can be interpreted as offering vast possibilities. The possibilities, in particular, for the placement of the controls for this mixer. You can hide the handle of the progressive cartridge either inside or extend it outside. You can use the mixer for installation on the panel, or install the mixer from the wall, and in this case, this surface will be used by you to store some, again, very necessary small items in the bathroom. Naturally, in a luxurious bathroom, there is space for pieces of living furniture. In this case, we have the charming Miss Jewel, also designed by Carlo Colombo. It features a very elegant metal trim. And this young lady is accompanied by a small table called Landscape Sospici, which can be translated as hanging landscapes or hanging gardens. And these hanging gardens can be made from various types of marble. The tabletop can be rectangular, round, or square, just like those we see in the composition for the bedroom. And there is another creation by Carlo Colombo, the Sophie bed, which also features this metal trim. But to hide something useful in the bedroom, you can use the BIM-made wall cabinets. And this model can very well be used in the bathroom, just as the bedroom can seamlessly transition into the bathroom. There we see the street furniture composition, which is made from corian in this case. This is also a material frequently used by Antoniolupi, and the principle of this furniture composition is very similar to the anime liquid. That is, the facades cover the front panel of the sink, creating a very monolithic appearance for this item. Well, the Daphne bath, a very recognizable and popular model, takes center stage in this interior. Nabatea is an ancient kingdom on the Arabian Peninsula, and you are probably familiar with the architectural masterpieces of this civilization. At the very least, you have seen the temples in Petra. Well, if not in person, then definitely in pictures. And it is this plasticity, the rhythmic facades of the ancient temples, that inspired Antoniolupi to create the collection of the same name. In my opinion, it's quite a practical idea for organizing the space in the wash area. The wash basins are made of marble, featuring a very elegant drain hole, and the siphon is cleverly hidden where it can't be seen. For Antoniolupi, no detail is unimportant. Here, it's worth noting how luxuriously the interior space of the pull-out drawers is organized. There's no need to even mention the smooth opening and closing. There's also a very convenient LED lighting installed there. And the finish of the interior space of the drawers is simply stunning. Nabatea also offers standard tabletop wash basins. They are also made from natural stone, and there is quite a large selection available here as well. In this case, they are installed on the Fox storage system, which can be used both in the bathroom and in living interiors. It can also be either wall-mounted or floor-standing. The chair from the interior collection is called Lola, and in this case, they are presented in leather upholstery, and as they say, a similar leather is used for the upholstery of luxurious Rolls-Royces. The structure has a glossy powder coating, and here you also have a choice of 56 shades offered by Antoniolupi. Of course, having chairs in the bathroom is no longer surprising, but a fireplace is still quite a rare accessory. And I think it belongs in the bathroom, because there's nothing more beautiful than watching flowing water, a burning fire, and of course, yourself. It may seem that against the backdrop of these revolutionary finds, the Bonario collection looks quite simple, but it is in this simplicity that true elegance lies. The entire composition is executed in a single color, meaning that the body, the ribbed facades, the sinks, and the taps all share the same intricate sage hue. Another famous Florentine, in 2024, added 3 totems to the Antoniolupi collection. These are standalone wash basins that have very distinctive names. Before us is Ramses, finished in the so-called stitched wood. Next is the Teti with walnut, collected using stainless steel brackets, and the cascading Cheops made of cast bronze. In creating the street collection, the Antoniolupi design studio was inspired by the aesthetics of construction structures. In this area, we see completely different options in which it can be executed. This is natural marble in the form of a separately hanging composition with a furniture module under the sink. There is also a version for installation in a niche, and both the first and second have wall lighting. Next, we see a version made of crayon with a splashback and a wall-mounted faucet installed on it. And here it is important to note that Antoniolupi absolutely does not prohibit, but rather encourages, to combine products from different collections. And in this case, we see what can be called a classic design from Antoniolupi, a model that has been around for almost 20 years. It is called Pantry, and this wonderful shade contrasts beautifully with the white matte Korean. The street can also be made in a version with a double sink. In this case, we see the facades that cover the front panel. These facades have a very elegant decor with stripes. By the way, this is possibly one of the most sought-after textures at the moment. If there are certain size restrictions in the bathroom, for example, if the bathroom is narrow, then a less deep version of this furniture composition can be chosen. Antoniolupi has taught us to integrate not only cabinets and fireplaces, but also sinks. They have a whole range of models for this type of installation. Before us is Silencio, which reveals itself with a sculptural curve and integrated lighting within this sink. And we also see the little sister of Miss Jewel everywhere, just Jewel. The difference is that here, the backrest is metal. However, you still have quite a large selection from the rich palette of fabrics that Antoniolupi offers now. It's also worth paying attention to the taps. In this case, the Accenza collection is used here in various finishes and also different configurations. A very important point is that the handle stick can also be made in a color of your choice. That is, it can be not only a single color along with the handle itself, but also contrasting. The sled bath, thanks to the lighting installed at the bottom, literally glides through the air. After all, sled translates to And in this area, we have another bed. This is the TLR model from GAM Design in a very delicate shade of textured wool. TLR is a continuation of the Tralarigia collection, which GAM Design has been developing in collaboration with Antoniolupi for several years. These include carpets, wallpapers, and certainly sinks, as well as very expressive chests of drawers made of metal. Next, we have a bath, practically a bestseller. Of course, it's a universal shape. It's called Reflex, and it pairs beautifully with the already mentioned composition from the Pantry collection. Here we see a more classic look, but due to the monochromatic execution, it appears quite convincing. The Showdown collection looks just as convincing, but in a black matte finish. The feature is that the sink is not installed on top or beside, but is directly integrated into the furniture storage system. And when we talk about the bathroom, the question of integrating engineering systems often arises. And Antoniolupi has a solution for a very aesthetic framing of the installation for wall-mounted sanitary ware. In other words, they essentially also become additional storage systems and look very attractive. In general, as always, if it can't be hidden, it needs to be shown very beautifully. Next, we move to the pool, and above this pool, we see the entire collection, the full variety of shower systems offered by Antoniolupi. These include Meteo and Meteo XL with various features, including waterfalls, a tropical shower, and even a fine mist dispersion. These are iridi, glowing round cylinders embedded in the ceiling plane and practically unseen ghosts of GOST, as well as the mattonella. Mattonella means tiles, and this shower system is indeed assembled like tiles are laid. There can be both a waterfall and, again, tropical showers with laminar flow. In general, various features that you prefer, and this builder will be customized specifically for you. Wall-mounted showers are also offered for more compact spaces. Azimut and Azimut Mini, we are already quite familiar with them, while the Apollo collection is newer and can be made in various finishes and colors. I should remind you that AntonioluPi offers them in H56, and these shower heads can also have a light, which is quite nice, and again, this is an element of residential interior design. The second new product of 2024 among baths is the Nebula Bath, made in this case from Grigio Lavico stone. Echoing this is the Breeze Sink, made from AntonioluPi's signature material called crystal mud. Its feature is its translucency, and it can be made in different shades. Moreover, the version of this sink can be both a countertop model like this one, as well as a taller countertop and a freestanding one. In this case, the Breeze Sink is installed on the Pantere cabinet, but it can also be fitted, as we have already established, on other cabinets from different collections by AntonioluPi. It's also worth noting. A small detail. This is the collection of built-in niches. Here, they are integrated into the wall of the living space, but they also work wonderfully in the shower. This is perhaps the most convenient storage for shower areas. As you may have noticed, AntonioluPi's collections flow seamlessly from living spaces into the bathroom and back again. Here's an example of such a transition. In front of us is a floor lamp from the Apollo collection. AntonioluPi has a solution for heating inside the bathroom. This is the collection of towel warmers or design radiators, if you will. In this case, we have a modular system called Rego. Accordingly, you can install the rails both horizontally and vertically. They come in different lengths and can also be finished in all 56 colors of the AntonioluPi palette. The Ginevra bed is my favorite model in the AntonioluPi range. Perhaps it's due to the expressive cord or the metal structure, but most likely it's because you can combine finishes here and achieve different optical effects. And thanks to the texture and the combination of these colors, you can choose something more contrasting or opt for a tone-on-tone look, like here. In general, there's plenty of room for your imagination to run wild. The Ginevra bed is accompanied by the Bivio tables, and this is another example of how the collection flows from the bathroom into the living space, being suitable for both the bathroom and the living interior. In addition to coffee tables that work beautifully with freestanding baths, Bivio also has a collection of freestanding accessories, such as towel holders, which are also useful with freestanding baths. The Breeze Sink in this case is made of marble. It's the same Grigio Lavico, and it is installed opposite a system called Offset. Offset is another solution for elegantly concealing installations for wall-mounted sanitary ware. In addition to the fact that all the engineering is integrated behind these panels, there are also storage spaces. Behind one of the doors is a hydro brush. Meanwhile, the flush buttons are located on the top panel. It is worth noting that AntonioluPi offers a complete solution for shower areas. This means not only some niches and shelves, not just shower systems, but also trays and even drainage systems. At the same time, this is one of the few manufacturers that has branded drainage systems. In addition, benches will be useful in the shower. This is really a very convenient feature, and they can match the finishes of the other items in your bathroom, just as the Offset system can match the finishes of the furniture compositions and wash basins. In this case, we see how well this system combines, with the Requadro furniture and the composite wash basin from the Nebete collection installed on top. And opposite, the Nebete countertop sink is installed on the Pantere system in a matte finish. And as a contrast to this solution, we return to the living area, where we see the Pantere collection used as wall-mounted cabinets for the living space, finished in glossy lacquer. Here we have another totem, this time from architect and designer Mario Trimarchi. It's called Arcadia. This is also a new product for 2024 and is made from the quite distinctive Grigio Lavica stone. Another version of the Nebete furniture composition. This time, the sink is framed on all sides by furniture panels in a matte finish. A very good combination, in my opinion. The checkered poof from Trolley Rigi and the small accessories from Bivio, along with the Let Terra Muta shelf, complete the composition. Let Terra Muta is essentially a cross-section of nothing other than an I-beam. This accessory can come in various lengths and serve different functional purposes. In this case, we see a solution for the toilet area, but it also looks great next to freestanding baths. As for these accessories from the Bivi collection, it's worth noting that the toilet brush is made of silicone. This is the most hygienic solution for this utilitarian item. And here we have the magic of graphics again. Stripes and checks from GAM Design. In this case, we see them on Gessati wash basins. They can be arranged both lengthwise and crosswise of these wash basins, and this is actually a very interesting technology. As the wash basins are made from natural stone, we also see this graphic on the facades. In this case, these are glass facades in an aluminium frame, painted white. They look quite nice. The Eclipse bath also looks quite good. It's worth noting that inside this bath, there is a ledge where you can place something you need. If that space isn't enough, you can add a lovely item called Halo, which combines a round tabletop for those very accessories and a towel holder. Everything is very sleek and convenient. How small details can change the appearance of an item. Take a look at the pedestal sink. Here, there is a lovely elegant strap that also serves as a towel holder. A freestanding tap has been added with a shelf in the same color mood shade as the sink. Everything looks very harmonious. The wonderful Mr. Wolf ladder looks just as harmonious. This is a side ladder with a shelf that can also be painted in any color from the offered palette, allowing it to either contrast against the wall or blend in, as we see here. By the way, there is a certain irony in Mr. Wolf. The word lupi translates from Italian to English as wolf. Let's talk a bit more about bespoke cabinets. Bespoke means made to order, so when you go to an individual partner, they make a bespoke suit for you. And these cabinets can also be tailored specifically for you. This applies to the finishes as well. This also applies to the interiors. For example, the glass can be bronze or mirrored like this. The finish of the metal details can also vary. A feature of these cabinets is that they open almost 180 degrees. And of course, the finish of the internal contents can also be customized to your liking. If even small details change the perception of the interior image, what can be said about larger ones? Look how luxurious the Tonda sinks look on the same Panthera furniture system. By the way, it's not necessary for the sink and bath materials to match. I think it's a very good idea to mix materials as well. And here this idea is confirmed by the beautiful combination of the reflex bath made in crystal mood and these very Tonda sinks in Grigio Navico. I really do like these checks. And lines from GUM Design. Absolutely fantastic sink 024 consists of 24 elements that are glued together, resulting in this wonderful graphic. Moreover, it can be in both positive and negative, that is, black and white or white and black, or a combination of both in the form of a freestanding sink. As for wallpaper, it can be used in wet areas. Accordingly, this solution is quite realistic and applicable in actual homes. By the way, carpets can also be used in wet areas because they are made of polyester. And the graphics offered here are absolutely varied, just like the sizes and shapes. More classic and concise forms like gesto and graphio pair excellently with a similarly minimalist shelf called aloe. At the same time, This shelf can serve as an additional one, as in this case, and can also be a countertop on which sinks of various designs, made from different materials offered by AntonioluPi, are installed. If for you the bathroom is not just a place for morning and evening rituals, but also a place for relaxation, you can transform it into a true home spa. For this, the luxurious round Duna bath is perfect, as it truly echoes the silhouettes of desert landscapes. It has a very comfortable backrest to fully relax the body. If you have a more compact bathroom but need plenty of storage space and functionality, then you should consider the piano floor cabinet, which in this case is finished in wood and pairs beautifully with the sandy shade of the countertop and efficient. In my opinion, the Borderline collection looks more solid, possibly due to the unique handle that is literally integrated into this facade. It is worth noting that in cross-section, this handle is a perfect circle, unlike traditional handles, which it may resemble at first glance. The legs allow you to place this massive composition against light walls while still not depriving you of the convenience of maintaining the flooring. I see the Nebota sink mounted on a superlight air console for the first time here. And I must say, I find this solution quite stylish, just as I find the poofs from the Landscapes collection with spacey stylish. There can also be poofs alongside the tables, again in the signature pattern of lines and checks. The Malaparte mirrors, just like the Kalash mirrors, serve not only the immediate function of reflecting your beautiful essence, but also work as an art object in the interior. In fact, the Tramata console collection functions in the same way. Besides being able to place some items or books there, they are very graphic and can set the tone for the entire space. And the bathroom space is set by the very expressive feeder bath, which, like the other baths by AntonioluPi, can be made from various materials. The Charlie bed features a very expressive seam and also has a very soft, plush headboard. In addition, it is worth noting that AntonioluPi pays great attention to the selection of fabrics, and determining the best samples that match specific models takes quite a lot of time. The finishes of the bed in terms of color scheme are echoed by the bedside table, which is used here for the television. This is the Bimade collection, which also offers a vast array of material combinations. Metal frames for the fronts, filling glass, and of course, the countertop. In this case, it is natural stone, but various other options can be chosen. Just like for the Pienaar collection, you can choose from various finishing options. I really like that the niches are built into the side panels and the furniture composition is recessed into the wall. The flowing shape of the Fluido sink successfully blends into the wall and works beautifully with the long letter mute shelf, which in this case is in a contrasting color to the sink, but you can also choose matching colors, such as white. Everything looks wonderful together with the Specky Descartes mirrors, which are essentially a sheet of mirror folded in half. By the way, I think the huge Afura bath, inspired by the aesthetics and traditions of bathing in the land of the rising sun, goes really well with the Fluido. The difference from baths in this country is that the front edge is slightly lowered, allowing you to enter this luxurious realm of bliss a bit more comfortably. By this point, perhaps some of you have come to the opinion that AntonioluPi is a solution for large spaces, luxurious bathrooms, or country houses. Not at all. There are solutions for quite compact bathrooms as well. Here are a few that I think are very functional and just as aesthetically appealing as the rest of the collection from AntonioluPi. This includes the Borga wash basin combined with the very compact yet comfortable Kubo bath. This also includes sinks of all possible configurations from the Briz collection. This could also be Simplo, it could be in crystal mood, or it could be in flow mood in various shades. A stand or shelf works really well for compact bathrooms. A cactus that is installed as a tension rod between the floor and ceiling. By the way, it can also serve as a parking space for pots with houseplants. In general, AntonioluPi has a solution for absolutely any size space. When we talk about baths and sinks made from crystal mood, an important point is that the inner surface is specially treated so that you don't see any plumbing, and that the backlighting, which is installed in the actual sink, is as even as possible. This equally applies to Breeze sink. Similarly, there are very expressive sinks with a droplet-shaped bowl designed by a beer brand called Astro. The Opali sink, designed by Carlo Colombo, is a cool graphic piece, with a very expressive cut, literally like that of a diamond. And of course, backlighting can also be installed on marble sinks. Once again, Paolo Julian has worked on this. The Flow Sink is a new product from last year, representing an allusion to several images at once. Some see the silhouette of mountains in this torn edge, while others see a culinary shape folded from paper. In any case, imagination can run wild with this item, just as it can with combinations of materials. No one said that a marble sink can't stand on a wooden pedestal. But if you want something more concise, you can choose a single material for both the pedestal and the sink, and a more restrained design, like in the Filarigo model. By the way, regarding a more restrained design, this statement can also be applied to the collection of sofas. They have a very classic shape, a well thought out geometry, and beautifully selected fabrics that you can change at your own discretion. And as for the decorative cushions, you can mix and match them in various ways. But another important detail is that you can also customize the metal structure by color. Choosing from one of 56 colors, there's one more thing that's very hard to convey through the screen. I believe that without aromatic decor, no design project can be considered fully complete. And Antoniolupi offers his collection of home fragrances. With various directions, invigorating or calming, the choice is entirely yours. Antoniolupi says, "We are what we think, and from our thoughts, we create our own world. And it seems to me that this world is worthy of attention." So, if you enjoyed this review, give it a like, write something nice, and of course, share the world of Antoniolupi with your friends. They will surely like it too. Thank you. Goodbye.